returning back to UK abruptly all of a sudden without notice shows a lot of things. It speaks volume. I want to play this video clip though first, and then I'll tell you what happened this time.
You asking about it being a surprise as well. I mean, everything we'd heard about Meghan since she left acting, and she stepped away from Suits. Most people knew her as Rachel Zane on Suits, as you say, in 2017, and she was quite excited about joining the royal family at the time and said that it was seen as a change, you know, as opposed to something she was giving up in a sad way. But she has actually spoken about acting since then, and even since she left Britain. She told Variety in 2022 that she had no interest in returning to acting. She said never say never, but to
she, of course, never wanted to come back to acting, return to acting, but why all of a sudden she is coming back to UK for acting career. Now, experts discussed the recent announcement that Sperry and Nutmeg are relocating back to the United Kingdom. The discussion covers several key themes: the Megxit reversal and marriage rumors. Analysts they report suggesting that Nutmeg has secured an entertainment-related role in the UK to justify the move, but that is obviously BS. They argue this is a narrative to mask potential trouble in the marriage and financial pressures, citing commentary from Tina Brown. There are two main reasons why they are doing what they're doing. Number one is this one. Take a look at this one: potential trouble in the marriage. And number two is the financial crisis they're going through at the moment. So the marriage has fallen apart. We know that for some time without a shadow of a doubt. But the financial ooze, I mean, the reason they were in this marriage, it was because of financial reason, because they believed that if they do split, if they do get divorced, then they will face a lot of financial stress, and they will be less able to make money. And this is the reason why they wanted this marriage, okay, to keep happening. They faked the whole thing when they were holding hands, when they were smiling in front of camera, calling each other my love, this and that, my husband. These are all fake. They emphasize royal commentators that Nutmeg has reportedly struggled to find acting work in the US, and that the move may be an attempt to stabilize their public image. The struggle, if you take a look at this one, was in the States for the last at least 5-6 years since they came to the States. She could not secure any acting deal with anyone, even though she said, I'm not going back to acting. But the reason she said, I will not do acting, or I will not return to acting career, is because nobody was interested in her to play any role. So she said, yeah, I'm not going back to acting. But the reality of it was that she was not invited by anyone. She was not offered any acting role. Now they're using this whole facade to stabilize their public image. Analysts focus on a court ruling regarding Harris' case against the Daily Mail. The judge ordered cost to be uncapped, potentially leaving Sperry and his co-claimants liable for up to £34.5 million, with an initial payment of £9.5 million due within days. Now I want you to focus on this one for 1 second. 9.5 million due within days. So it does make sense that they are making these decisions all of a sudden to move back to UK. But the question is, who is going to pay this money? Who is going to pay this $9.5 million? Well, looks like to me it is never going to be coming from her acting. She said, I'm going back to UK because I got an acting role, but that acting will not pay this much money. And number two, she will not share any money with Sperry at all, let alone giving him £9.5 million, and that is due within days. Sperry has a conversation with King Charles and King Charles, and he begged him that, Papa, you must pay this or else I will go bankrupt. I do not know. My future will be ruined completely. So please help. Okay? Please help. So this is due within days. Observers express strong support for this outcome, framing it as a major setback for Sperry. Royal commentators discuss the so-called Sussex Summit at Balmoral, where William and King Charles are reportedly gathered. Now, why would they gather for this summit? And what do you think they were talking about, okay, from this Sussex Summit? Well, it is actually dubbed as Sussex Summit, basically referring to the fact that they are now discussing the palace is on alert for the return of Spaddy and Nutmeg, and William and Charles. They are seriously talking about this, and they are trying to see what will be the fallout from this. Remember, the people are not happy. This suggests that despite official channels, William and Catherine are deeply unhappy with the situation. Again, these are all coming from experts, analysts, observers. Analysts highlight the ongoing tension between the Sussexes and the British press, with experts criticizing the royal rota and the practice of press briefings. Now, according to sources, Spaddy must leave California by end of the month or face deportation. Now, this information, I will dig more into it and give you more updates on this, but take a listen at this one again.
Paraphrase, pretty much never. So this did come as a surprise, but then I think the first big clue about this, and again, as you say, I think that their original plan for the US has not worked out as they had thought it would probably when they first moved over there. Of course, we had the Netflix deal, the Spotify deal, a number of others. I think there has been a pivot in the future of what they want to do, and I think the first big sign of this was probably when we heard that she had actually dipped her toe back into acting at the end of last year. We heard quite suddenly that she was playing herself in a cameo role in a big movie with Brie.
Yeah, no, these are all BS. She was never going to play any role. They are going back even though they hate it, and this is also what Harry said. I want to play the sound bite of it.
But it's something I'd love to do, and now I've had the chance once. I suppose I've got quite into it. And at the end of the day, if you join the army, you expect to go on operations. I don't want to sit around at Windsor because I just generally don't like England that much, and it's nice to be away from all the press and the papers and the general shite that they write.
So if he doesn't like England that much, why is he going back? Well, I do not like the press, I do not like this, I do not like that. Well, the reason you do not like England is because you are worthless, and the monarchy from day one realized that this guy is messed up beyond repair. But again, he was given all the opportunities to live a very comfortable life, but he chose to live a very difficult and a very miserable life. That is the bottom line of it all. Now, I do have you guys leave a comment in the comment section. I'll give you more updates on this because this is a developing story.